Hi, welcome. So my name is Angelina and today we're going to be talking about all of the updates in regards to all of the allegations that have been made towards idols in the past few weeks. I already made a part 1 to this where we talked in depth a little bit about Soojin's accusations and Mingyu's accusations, and we also touched briefly on the multiple other accusations that were made. But since then, a lot of companies have just continued denying the accusations, whereas there are some cases where there's been a little bit more back and forth, a little bit more updates. So I thought we could give some updates and look into some of them a little bit more. In particular, what has been going on with the group i-dle, Hyunjin from Stray Kids, Soojin from i-dle, and Mingyu from 17. I'll of course be giving some recaps when necessary, but you can of course also go check out my first video on the subject. But before we get into this video, please note that I will be generally describing some of the allegations, but given the content of what we're talking about, I will of course be leaving resources down below if you need them. Let's start with Hyunjoo, former member of i-dle. So on February 28th, her brother allegedly wrote a post accusing the other members of i-dle of bullying Hyunjoo. And we also saw similar allegations from a former classmate that came and supported these claims. So among the allegations, we have claims that she didn't actually leave the group because she wanted to become an actress, but because of the other members. And we also have claims that the group ostracized her, among other things. And from here, we actually saw some back and forth between DSP Media and the OP. DSP denying the claims, saying that Hyunjoo wanted to be an actress, but the company persuaded her to be part of the group, but then ended up not being able to faithfully participate in her activities, which caused a strain on the group. They also said that she was struggling with many problems, and with this, they kind of imply that it caused conflicts for everyone within the group and not just her. And based on the circumstances at the time, it was clear that no one could be considered a perpetrator or victim. They go on to say that she ended up leaving the group despite them pleading for her to stay, trying to convince her to stay, and even after that they provided her support through her acting career and then when she wanted to be an idol again. They then end off their statement by asking people, of course, to not spread any rumors. DSP then released another statement further clarifying more of the allegations, but the OP responded to DSP's responses, further detailing what his sister had went through and the gravity of the situation and how it affected her mental health. Even saying that he would attach hospital records, as he claims the company was aware of what was going on but did nothing to help. And then eventually a statement saying that they will be taking legal action against Hyunjoo and her family, expressing that we determined the situation could no longer be resolved through dialogue. They claimed their agency had done the best to protect Hyunjoo and i-dle members, but they will be taking legal action in criminal and civil lawsuits against Hyunjoo and her family who are spreading these allegations. On top of those accusations, we have also seen current member Nan, who was accused in an unrelated school incident, which DSP has also strongly denied and threatened legal action against. And consequently, because of these accusations, it seems that she was set to appear on a variety show. But said show has planned to edit out her parts, stating, "We will edit out her parts in the episode airing on March 4th as much as possible without affecting the content." Moving on to Hyunjin from Stray Kids, who we mentioned in the first video, but here's a little bit of a recap. So on February 23rd, we saw that JYP released a statement in regards to the accusations made, saying that there are many parts that are untrue, but ultimately they're looking into it through a thorough investigation. So from there, we actually saw a second statement from JYP and a handwritten letter from Hyunjin himself. JYP's second statement basically apologizes for the negative news and the discomfort, and that they listened to everyone involved who were willing to meet up and came to the conclusion that there are people who were hurt by Hyunjin's immature and improper actions in the past. Hyunjin deeply regrets and reflects on himself regarding this, so he met up directly with those who wrote the post and sincerely apologized, claiming that misunderstandings were able to be resolved. And in his letter, he basically apologizes for everyone who was hurt, stating that he is embarrassed and has no excuse. Also going on to say, "I don't think I can be forgiven at all for giving unforgettable pain to someone." Ending off with expressing gratitude to the people who were hurt, who allowed him to express his apologies in person. JYP Entertainment then went on to announce that Hyunjin would then be halting all activities with Stray Kids until further notice, which of course left a lot of fans wondering if he would actually be kicked out of the group. So in light of these accusations, we actually see Cleo, a Korean brand that Stray Kids were promoting with, have deleted a lot of their promotional activities with him. And they released the following statement basically saying, "First, we apologize for the delay in making a public response to the recent controversy involving one of the members of Cleo's model Stray Kids." They go on to say that they immediately halted all promotional activities as JYP required more time for their investigation, but that there were issues with overseas distributors who were not able to immediately put this into effect. "We sincerely apologize to the customers who felt uncomfortable because we were unable to respond quickly and take swift action in this situation. At the moment, we are currently still in the midst of discussions regarding future plans for the model." They end off by explaining that with the exception of some of the overseas distributors, that all of the content featuring him have since been deleted. So that's basically where we are with this story in particular. Hyunjin has stopped all activities. Moving on to Soojin from i-dle. So in the last video, we actually went into a lot of details about the accusations and so on. But to recap, the sister of her former friend from school came forward with accusations to which Cube denied, and Soojin herself actually wrote a statement in which she admitted to certain things but ultimately denied the violence. You know, there were accusations that she would buy drinks and then not finish them and make her friends finish them and then try to take their money, and accusations of stealing and so on. And in a recent update to the situation, Cube as well also announced that she would be halting all activities with i-dle and that i-dle would be continuing on as 5 members. Expressing again that the one thing they were able to confirm was that she did have a fight with her friend over the phone, in which the older sister of the friend then took over the phone call, but that they couldn't confirm the rest. They went on to explain that they're more than open to meet with the parties involved, but that there was some reluctance, ending off with, "We will take strong legal action against attacking comments with malicious intentions and matters that are proven to be false." And amongst all of this, we also had actress Soojin, who was kind of swept up along with these allegations since she went to the same school as Soojin, and she was posting some things on Instagram that was kind of alluding to the fact that she might have been a victim. However, we don't have any official statement from her company or Soojin herself in regards to this. Now let us end off with Mingyu from 17. So on February 22nd, accusations were made towards Mingyu of 17, but Pledis were quick to deny these accusations. However, a few days later, we started again seeing more and more accusations made towards him, including some very disturbing accusations that required Pledis' attention, of course. And so we saw Pledis release another statement. "After recent claims were made, we have checked with the artist himself and taken additional procedures to verify the facts. In the process, we confirmed that there is a discrepancy between what was posted and what we have checked with the artist." They go on to acknowledge the recent issues of allegations coming to light as of now and the importance of looking into them and verifying facts. And in contacting the various people involved, they confirmed the following. "It was said that the artist a student with disabilities, but this is completely false." They claim that Mingyu clearly remembers the individual in question, and in contacting the individual's mother, they came to the conclusion that there were actually other student names that came up who were responsible for what Mingyu was being accused of. And they also confirmed that Mingyu and that student were actually on good terms, saying they were able to verify with the referred victim who feels burdened by their past being known without their consent. "We are actively looking into the other matters as well. However, it is difficult to identify the people who uploaded the posts online, and in some of the posts, the writer has expressed their reluctance to be reached out to, making it a situation in which it is not only difficult to get into contact with them, but also one that requires discretion." They go on to say that they respect the writer's wishes, but they are also open to meeting with them so that they can confirm facts, and they also understand the importance of getting to those facts. And Pledis as well goes on to say that Mingyu has released his apology towards fans for causing discomfort, and he as well will be halting activities until further notice. So that's where we are with Mingyu from 17. We are waiting for the other accusations to either be confirmed or denied by the company. And with this, I would love to know what you think down below. There are obviously a lot of varied responses to this. Some people who want idols to be removed from their groups, some people who are staying completely neutral. It does bring up the question, and I did want to ask, and I've asked this before, but in your opinion, what is the line that an idol can cross where you think they deserve to be kicked out of a group? And I'm also very curious about the probability you think any of these idols would have of actually eventually potentially being kicked out of their groups. You know, we've seen people getting kicked out of their groups for Accused, we've seen people getting kicked out of their groups for drunk driving, and I want to know, where do you see that line where someone should be kicked out, or whether something is quote unquote forgivable? And that is where we're going to end this video. If you would like me to do an update, if there are any other updates, I'm more than happy to do so. A huge thank you to my channel members for supporting me every month. I appreciate it more than you can imagine. As for me, I'm gonna get going. Don't forget resources below if you need them.